back, my friends. The Facebook the Facebook Metaverse is upon us, or Meta's Metaverse is upon us. I don't know, it's confusing, but we got a lot of information yesterday, so let's break it down. Welcome to the newest episode of SDW.
Super Dario World!
Yeah, so yesterday was kind of a bizarre news day. Facebook, the app, had its creator, Mark Zuckerberg, on for a live, presentation thing, and he basically announced that they're changing the company name from Facebook to Meta, and then they announced the Metaverse, and it's a whole bunch of really confusing stuff that I've been looking up, and I will break down for you. But before we get into all that stuff, let me just give you a quick reminder that any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can find me at Super Dario World on YouTube and on Twitch, live streaming Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10 a.m. So if you want to join me, be a part of the chats, and any questions, comments, or all that stuff, that's the best way or easiest way for you to find me. I'm also going to be loading the videos on Rumble because it looks like that's where the technology's going, and I kind of like the name, Rumble. It's like you're getting ready for a fight. It's fun. Anyway, if you want to send me something privately, you can always send me a message directly on Instagram at DarioSDW and at Super Dario World. But let's get into this because I think it's kind of fun. It's kind of neat, So like I said, the Facebook creator, Mark Zuckerberg, was live on Facebook. I don't know if it wasn't live because it was an edited video, but he made a presentation about the future of their company. And it had a lot of people, making fun of it because a lot of things seem kind of ridiculous. But it's interesting to contemplate where the future is going, why they're doing this, and what's behind all this stuff. So first off, let's talk about the rebranding. So Facebook has officially changed their name from Facebook to Meta. And this is not something new. This is something that companies do for a variety of reasons. Like Google changed their name Google changed their name to Alphabet a while back. And I think it's just to become like a bigger umbrella name sometimes. Sometimes it's, to clean up a few scandals that they may have, in the closet and stuff like that. Apple used to, or sometimes just to condense stuff, because Apple used to be Apple Computer Company, and then they just shorten it up to Apple. So sometimes it's, to simplify. However, Meta is something that I find hysterical, because for those of you who know what Meta usually in we're talking about the meta of a game, the meta of the Metaverse. When you're talking about a whole bunch of stuff like that, it usually means kind of like the story within the story, or the story outside of the story in the real world that relates to the real story. It's a meta joke. It's so them trying to take over that particular term seems kind of funny, but whatever. They're allowed to do it. They're allowed to name their company whatever they want. So there's a few things here that I found interesting. A few things are technological, and a few things are kind of like social. And the big question here is like, well, why are they doing it? What's the big deal? Like, what's happening here? What's the plan? Because if you see the video, and it's a quick little, it's not that big of a deal, but you see a very interesting enhanced reality presentation. So that's the ER technology. So there's augmented reality, and there's there's VR, which is virtual reality, and then there's enhanced reality, which is ER. Basically, the difference is that VR, they're creating everything digitally, and with enhanced reality, is it AR or ER? I don't know, I forget. I get those confused. Names are not my thing. Where you can see things in the real world. Let's say, for example, if you put on a pair of glasses right now and you look in your room, you could see Pokemon flying around. That would be enhanced reality. Or you could change the colors of your walls, whatever. Point is, check out the video. That's kind of what it does. That's ER. So there's a lot of interesting tidbits here. First off, there's, again, rumors, speculations going around, and let's get the rumors and speculation out of the way. There's a lot of people saying that this is the name change and all that stuff is because Facebook is currently going through a bit of turmoil, with the government, and there's a whistleblower, and there's a scandal going around because of that. To be honest, and full disclosure, I'm not a big fan of Facebook. I'm not a big fan of social media in general. I can see its benefits as a tool, and I appreciate it. I don't like Zuckerberg's business model. There's a bunch of stories there that the dude's kind of a shark, and he kind of wants to have absolute control about a lot of stuff. So, okay, I get it. Sir Slayton, thank you for joining me. What's up? I'm not a fan. Let's just say not a fan. Okay, not a fan. However, when it comes to the scandal and the whistleblower and all that stuff, to me, it sounded kind of like complete BS. Because I listened to the hearings. Basically, for those of you who don't know, there's a girl who released a whole bunch of like paperwork and internal documents of Facebook, blah blah. From what I got from the gist of it, is that Facebook is bad for the mental health of young girls, which is something that everybody has known forever. You know, magazines used to talk about this. Magazines used to be like, hey, well, actually, magazines didn't. Studies proved that girls looking at magazines felt, had issues with self-esteem because, like, why don't I look like the model? So it's nothing new. The only thing that the documents truly prove is that Facebook knew this, which, again, everybody knew it. It's not a surprise. It's like everybody knows this. I don't know why it's news or whatever. But the moment that the chick lost me is where she was in Congress and said, this needs to be regulated by somebody like me. And it's like, oh, shit. Somebody just wants to give themselves a raise. Okay, let's just say I don't trust you anymore. Sir Slayton, you're asking, will anyone use this? And Otto, thanks for joining me too. Here's the thing. I think people will use this. Now let's get that part out of the way. And again, not a big Facebook fan, not a big social media fan in general, but whatever. So let's get into the technological side of it. So I found actually a pretty good article that breaks down the 4 big reasons why Facebook is doing this. And after that, let's go into the tech part of it and the future part of it. Because again, I do think that people are going to use this. I think that I would use it in certain situations. I don't like it because I don't like that Facebook is doing it. However, I like the fact that Facebook is paving the way for somebody else to do it. So you kind of have to take advantage, or I guess Meta is paving the way for it. But all right, let's go to through the 4 reasons. And again, I thought this was a pretty insightful article. And so there's the questions are okay. So 4 reasons why Facebook is doing this. This is Facebook's core. Okay. Because it realized that Facebook's core social media business is aging and younger users are abandoning its apps in favor for TikTok, Snapchat, and others cooler apps. This is true. Facebook has become very old. It's old technology. It's the past. It's becoming MySpace in a way, and it's being used mostly by older people, older generations, millennials, boomers, and stuff like that. And Facebook doesn't want to see itself as the old app. It wants to be like the new, young, cool, hip dude. In fact, if you even look at the video, Mark Zuckerberg is trying his best to be Steve Jobs. He's trying to be the new Steve Jobs. I'm here. I'm cool. I'm giving you this presentation because from what I understand, in his mind, he thinks he's cool. And by the way, this has nothing to do with it. He looks more like a robot every single time I see him. Every single time I see Mark Zuckerberg, he looks more, I don't know, like he's forgetting how to be human or whatever, why. But I thought it was interesting to see him try to do his best Steve Jobs impression, And it shows to what he wants his company to be. He wants his company to be, the cool kid on the block. He wants to be, the hip, the new tech, the new everything, right? The sexiest. And yes, Otto. Oh yeah, an alien. I guess an alien counts. He does look like an alien, but he wants it to be that the way of the future, the way of the future. And again, it's aging. However, if you're the one who's the pioneer in this new technology, the rule is first to arrive and best dressed are usually the winners. And if if you have both, you're going to be winning. First to arrive, best dressed. So right now, they would be the first to arrive at this scale, and they're investing heavily on it. From what I've seen, just in North America alone, they have over 10,000 employees working on the Metaverse, and they've invested like $10 billion. So they're in it to win it. They're throwing money at this thing like crazy. And he better not drink carrot juice or whatever killed Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs did not shower. That's what killed Steve Jobs. Bad height. Well, actually, no, that's a rude joke. That's mean. The dude, I think he died from cancer or whatever. But yeah, I don't know if the carrot juice gave him cancer. I don't know. I don't really care that much for Steve Jobs. Whatever. That's beside the point. But I see your point, Sir Slayton. Anyway, so it's an interesting angle there that's trying to stay fresh, is trying to stay new, and it makes perfect sense again, and they're investing heavily on it. So the next problem it wishes to address is, if it works, it would relieve them of the issue that they're having right now with platform. So Facebook has a massive issue with platform, which means that right now Facebook only exists via the Apple Store, the Apple App Store, or Google Play. It doesn't exist as a platform in itself. It only exists in smartphones and also computers and stuff. But most people only use Facebook on their phones. So if Facebook depends on other companies not dinging it, if Apple Store decided, if they do the same thing that they did to Parler, they're screwed, because they'd be like, all right, well, we're not going to have you in our App Store anymore, and they'd be fucked. That would be like a major hit. So they know that they other companies have them by the balls, in a way. I don't think Apple would ever do it, because then, the boomers are the ones that have all the money. So that would be really bad for them. But Zuckerberg, from what I've read and from what I've talked to with people who've kind of have an inkling about what he thinks. I haven't really talked to that many people. I've talked with 2 people who have met him in person. He's kind of a control freak in a way, and he has all right, the way that it's been described to me and the things that I've read, he has kind of the same thing that Tom Brady and Michael Jordan has. He has to win at all cost. That's the thing. Second place is not an option. Even having a second place is not an option. He has to win. He wants to win. He wants to control. He wants to be like the only game in town. He wants that. That's the type of person that he is. And so the other people focused on sports. He focuses on the future, I guess. Anyway. Again, don't know the guy. This is just based off of conversations that I've had with people and articles that I've read. So, what the hell's up with... There's an alarm going off. Anyway, so, again, the issue is platform. So, if his company depends on other companies, he doesn't like it. So, with this, they would control the platform, because they're basically going to sell the glasses, right? And if the platform is the glasses, then he has control of everything. They have control of all the apps that they put on there. They have control of everything, and they can't be, subject to other people's whims or whatever. So, and valid point there, Otto. I compared him to the goats, but he's not. Agreed. He's not the goat, or at least not yet. I mean, he hasn't gotten there yet. He hasn't proven it yet. I'm just saying the weird drive that sometimes people have, that they're like, I just have to do it. I have to. And you can't talk them out of it. There's no reasoning with certain people. They just want it, and it's blinding. So it's an interesting phenomenon. So that would be the second issue that this would solve. It would give them their own platform, which is honestly, in a way, it's smarter than creating a new phone. Like, imagine if Facebook created their own phone. You're like, whatever. I mean, I already have this Samsung. I already have this iPhone. What do I need a new Facebook phone for? Just for Facebook? However, this is a newer, sexier product. The new product are the glasses, and the glasses make a shitty looking world look sexier. And here's the thing. I think there's a market for it, and my main argument here is video game skins. Why anybody pays money for a video game skin, I don't get it. I don't understand it. I would never give money to a free game ever. I don't think so. I don't think I would ever pay just, to have my character look a different color or have a different camo or whatever. But people pay for it. And this is bringing video game skins to life. Imagine putting a skin over your crappy sofa. Imagine, there's a wall behind you, and you decide, you know what, I'm going to put on these glasses, and that wall behind me, I'm going to turn it into a big screen TV, and I don't have to buy a TV anymore because I can play my video games there. I can watch my show there, whatever, on a wall. Imagine you're riding the train, and you decide all these people suck, and they're ugly. I'm just going to watch TV while I'm sitting on the train instead of talking to people. Now, this brings up a risk that I thought was kind of interesting for a variety of reasons. For example, I talked about this with Pokemon Go. This is going to lead to more accidents. Why? Because people are going to use it when they're driving. People are going to not be paying attention when they walk. So I think it can lead to more accidents, which would, again, lead you in an interesting legal dilemma. Are they going to start putting laws about you can't drive with the glasses on? It's like, well, what if the regular glasses? What if I need them to what if they help me drive better? What if I have a self-driving car? There's a lot of very interesting conundrums that will be popping up legally because of this thing, and I'm actually pretty interested to see how it's going to go. Let's see the chat here. I buy games multiple times for my PS5 and PC, so I have some games twice, lol. Hey, I'm right there with you. I can't tell you how many times I bought Skyrim. I'm not proud of it. Like, I bought it for the 360. I bought the remade version for the X1, and I have one for PC, so for the mods. I get it, man. I get it. And so, but I'm not buying skins. All right, but people do buy skins. Again, it's something that I don't do, but people does. But people do this. So there's a market for it. I can see this being very sexy for people very quickly. Anyway, so that would address their platform issue. And again, to me, I think there's a market for it. And so Zuckerberg has been talking about the strategic benefits of having its own metaverse since 2015, and he wrote this to his lieutenants that again, this is written by Zuckerberg. We need to succeed in building both a major platform and key apps to improve our strategic position on the next platform. He wants the next platform. Now, there's something that a lot of billionaires have been talking about for a really long time, and the issue is the medium. For example, I think what's Tesla's dude's name? Elon Musk. Elon Musk has been talking about the issue with technology right now. It's the medium, and it's because it's very human dependent. So let's say, for example, your phone has like unlimited technology or potential, but it has to go through you. You have to type it in or whatever, and that's why he wants to put a chip directly in your brain so you can do it faster and whatnot. So a big issue is the medium, and again, if you're just wearing glasses and you can do it voice activating or whatever, that would make it a little bit faster. But I don't know. Let me see. But I bought one skin. Okay, so I bought one skin. Basically, was pay for win. Yeah, see, pay for win sucks. Pay for win is not good. Was it Call of Duty, Chef? In Warzone? Yep. Lol. And which one we're talking about? See, again, that's the issue. But the point is, people buy it. There's two people here that they can verify it. Whatever. Another strategy is again, the next reason why they're doing this is it could finally get Facebook out from under. Oh wait, I already talked about this. Duh. All right. Well, okay. So it could get Facebook out from under Apple and Google's thumbs by steering users' Facebook-owned platforms to Oculus and stuff like that. So this, again, it has to do with creating its own platform and the fact that they've bought a whole bunch of VR technology. Like Facebook owns Oculus. And if they own Oculus, that means that they own the medium, they own the platform, and they can control it, and they can do whatever they want. And so again, instead of creating their own phone, they bought Oculus, and they're going to use Oculus as the next piece of technology, or the technology from Oculus probably, to create the enhanced reality glasses. It makes sense strategy-wise. The third problem is regulatory risk. So Facebook is on the verge of being it's kind of on the verge of being broken up, but it won't really be broken up. And regulators are making enough noise about restricting its growth and establishing new privacy laws, preventing it from acquiring the next Instagram, for example. And it makes sense to place its bets on areas like VR and AR, which are less likely to be regulated anytime soon. Again, this is new technology. New technology, it usually takes the law a fair amount of time for them to catch up with technology. Like, they still haven't caught up with the internet yet. They still have not figured out how they're going to regulate the internet and stuff like that, and how, to provide laws for it, because it's new. It's very new. So if you jump ahead a few steps, you are jumping ahead of all that stuff, and you'd be basically jumping into a completely new, unregulated, uncontrolled arena. So you could completely control it, and you can regulate it and you could whatever you want. You could also not take shit from anybody for selling the data that you're collecting, and you'd be collecting all the data. And if anybody's like, hey, you're collecting all the data, you'd be like, yeah, no shit, I control it. And if people want to sign up for my stuff, that means that they're going to that means that I'm going to be selling their data. So it's another win in that arena. And for the fourth and final problem that it would solve is the reputation damage that Facebook has sustained as a result of many of its missteps and scandals over the years. So again, all right, that makes change for the name brand, and that's why they want into the metaverse, the new brand, the new technology, the new stuff. And I completely understand that, and it's smart. However, for new technology, the interesting stuff that could show up there. Let me see the chat here. I love Facebook's credo. It's badass. Go fast and break things. Yeah, it is their credo. Okay, so Facebook has in its grasp, it has a lot of technology, again, with Oculus alone. And full disclosure, I have a friend who is working with Oculus. He doesn't work for Oculus. He is working with Oculus in a very interesting piece of technology that I am not allowed to talk about because I'm not supposed to know about it. So Uh, but based off the conversations that and random comments that he's dropped, certain things now are starting to make sense in the particular direction that this company's going, because they were investing in something that to me kind of did not make a lot of sense. Now it's making a lot of sense. And again, I can't talk about that stuff, but the ER arena, the VR arena, what does that mean? What could that do? What does that mean for the way of the future? The way of the future. Now, we've seen a lot of this stuff, you know, like enhanced reality or virtual reality in a lot of sci-fi stuff. Everybody's comparing this to, let's say, the Oasis from Ready Player One, and I guess that's a fair comparison. I think it's more like the first step towards the movie Surrogates. Did you ever see the movie Surrogates with Bruce Willis? Basically, in the movie Surrogates, well, I guess one makes more sense than the other, but whatever, it doesn't matter. In the movie Surrogates, everybody lives in like a pod, and through a computer, they control a robotic version of themselves that walks around and touch you. But there's a robot surrogate of you that's walking around that looks just however you want it to look. So I think we're heading closer to that direction, because again, this is ER. This is enhancing the reality, except I don't think we're going to have robots walking around looking like you. I think it's still going to be you. You're just going to be walking around, and you're going to be seeing a prettier version of the world, or your own unique version of the world. I think this is actually pretty bad, because you're going to have a lot of people who are not living in reality anymore. So imagine like there's a big pile of shit right in front of you, and to you it looks like, I don't know, beautiful green grass, and you step on it, you still stepped on shit. You know what I'm saying? If your apartment's dirty, but you put on the ER glass to make it look clean, it's still going to be dirty. Like, it's not reality. If you're banging a 10 wearing the glasses and then you take them off and it turns out I don't know, it's a 3 and it's a dude, you're going to be like, oh my God, I'll put the glasses back on. See, I can see why it could be sexy for some people, but it's not real. And as a game for fun, I can understand it every once in a while. For convenience, again, I would love to just be if I'm using public transportation, screw everybody else. I'm just going to be focusing on the show that I want to watch. Also, at the same time, I probably wouldn't do that in public transportation because it's kind of dangerous, and you know, you can get shanked and robbed and all that stuff. But I do understand the appeal. That's my issue with virtual reality. I've never wanted to use virtual reality because I always listen. I know one thing for sure. If one of my friends is wearing a VR headset, he's gonna get hit in the balls. He just will be, because he's not paying attention. He won't be able to block it. You're just gonna be like, boom, and he's like, and he won't know who hit him, and that would be hysterical. And that's the reason why I don't want to wear a VR headset, because I know somebody's gonna hit me in the balls. I just know it. It's gonna happen. I would need to be like in a locked up room where nobody else can get to me. Whatever. The only way that I kind of like VR technology is how they do it in Sword Art Online. You know, where you fall asleep and then you go into a virtual world. That seems like fun because you're also resting. I mean, if you could actually sleep and play video games, that would be the dream. Imagine solid 8 hours of sleep, solid 8 hours of gaming, and you wake up refreshed. That'd be fantastic. Anyway, it's all going to one of those things where you're like, dude, they just don't want to make you leave your house. They don't want you to live in reality. Imagine you put on, you don't work out ever, and you put on the glasses and you look ripped. Like you can look like, I don't know, who do you want to look like? I don't know, like Thor, like a freaking Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know. And so it's like you could do it, but you wouldn't feel it. You know what I'm saying? Seeing something is not feeling something. It's not smelling something. It's just one of your senses, and maybe two, because they'll probably do something with the ears. They'll make your voice sexier. I don't like it. In a deep primitive level, I don't like it. Maybe I'm a dinosaur. I don't even like digital purchases. I like having the physical copy, because the paranoid side of me is like, well, what if they decide to cancel the game and I don't have access to it in my library? Or what if they decide, the company that has the server that serves the game decides, you know what, we went belly up, or we don't want to put this game anymore. You're fucked. So I'm torn. I'm very much torn. But let's see what the chat here has to say. I go to Facebook since quarantine. And this is Wally becoming real life. Sexy as fuck. Do you have a Daredevil hat? Yes, I am wearing a Daredevil hat. See it? It's the Netflix Daredevil version of it. And I I see why you got rid of Facebook. Honestly, it's a good idea. I want to get rid of it. Here's my only issue. It's a very useful tool for kind of what I do for business wise. And unfortunately, I'm very lazy and I don't want to download all the I don't want, I'm like, all right, I'll just download all the photos and stuff that I have up there. And it's one of those things that it's like, it's going to take forever. Because they don't allow you to do that all at once. Before, Facebook was like, you can just download everything, just, right click here, left click here, whatever. Now you have to go through all of, you have to do one by one. It's like, that's so annoying. And I have memories there since basically Facebook began. Well, not since it began, like a year after it began. So I have a lot of stuff up there and I don't want to lose all those memories because I already lost them in my phone because my phone got deleted and so much freaking work. Also, it reminds me of people's birthdays, which is actually kind of helpful. It's, I would have no idea when most people's birthdays are if it wasn't for Facebook. So I appreciate it as a calendar. So that is the main reasons why I haven't gotten rid of it. But anyway, like I said, I don't like this. I like physical assets. I don't like digital stuff. I don't like the fact that, it's going to be successful. It's probably going to be successful because, again, I look at it this way. You can not have a nice couch. You can't because it's expensive. It costs you a lot of money to buy a new couch. But you pay $2 and you get a customizable skin for that you can enhance whatever couch you have. People will be like, it's $2. My couch will look better and the inside of my apartment will look better to me. Then you have the issue of like when you have guests over, well, they're gonna have their ER glasses on or whatever. I don't know if this is a good idea for humanity in general. I don't think it is, because I definitely don't think it is. I think it's gonna make us lazier. On the other hand, it could also save, a lot of pollution stuff because you're not going to be making that many couches because people aren't going to be buying couches. They're going to be buying digital skins. But what happens if your internet goes down? What, you're going to, again, you're going to be seeing like all this crappy stuff, or I don't know how it's going to work. I just know that I don't like it in general. I'm not for certain things, sure. Like if you're gonna be walking around and you're gonna see Pokemon moving around, you'd be like, and you're gonna try to catch them. I get it. That'd be fun for games. Again, for games. For real world, for reality, this is cutting it too close. And I guess we'll be seeing how bad this can get or not. And Chef Spawn, I know what month is yours. Hey, that's something. At least you know what month my birthday lands on. That's something. I'll give it to you. But yeah. It's again, it's a way of the future. They're investing a lot of money on it. I think it's going to be a big deal. I just don't like it. I don't like the fact that it's going in a direction that I don't think will be beneficial, and it will make digital assets more valuable than real assets, because I like real things. I like things that you can touch, things that you can feel, things you can smell, over the stuff that's, like just designed to look pretty but doesn't have any substance. There's nothing behind it. Well, I guess there's digital stuff behind it, but it's not real. It's not real. Anyway, I think that's it for today. That's a good place to stop. There's not much where to go other than you want to have like a debate on what's better, reality or digital reality that you can control and be basically like a god. Which again, I see the appeal. But that's it for today. As always, any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can find me at Super Dario World on YouTube and on Twitch. Join me on the live stream. Join me on the chat. Be part of the comments. Again, live streaming Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10 a.m. If you want to send me something privately, you can always do that via Instagram at Super Dario World and at Dario SDW. As always, thank you for joining me, and I'll see you again next time.